Hello, I welcome all of you to this session for influencer marketing. We have with us Ishan Jindal. The session was supposed to be taken by Dipesh Jain, but unfortunately, due to some medical emergencies, he could not make it. But we have Mr. Ishan Jindal over here. He's the co-founder for Vogue. He comes with a rich experience of interacting with almost thousands of brands as he was a VC, and he has had three successful startups before Wob. Wob is the fourth one, and Wob was concepted based on the interactions that he have had with uh, thousands of brands and sponsoring those brands, and that's how uh, we have Mr. Ishan Jindal over here who would be sharing how to pull up uh, audiences and clients towards your brand. Thank you, Mr. Ishan, for being here and sharing your thoughts. The stage is all yours.
Thanks, Roshni. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Um, I'm not gonna waste a lot of time because I know I have only 15 minutes with you. How many people do we have right now attending this, Roshni? Do we have a number to that?
Uh, we have 33 members online at the moment.
Very nice, superb. So, hi, you guys. We'll quickly run you through something which is very exciting for us, and it's very exciting in the current times called influencer marketing. We'll try and go a little bit deeper into influencer marketing, and as one of the players in this industry, and in fact one of the leading players in this industry, we would like to share a few insights that we think will be helpful for you guys going back if you want to do influencer marketing or any marketing activity, so to say. So I'll quickly jump on to what the team has prepared for you guys, and then we'll probably try and spend more time in the Q&A session. So thanks for having me. Um, I hope my presentation is visible. Uh, See, 15 minutes is a very short period of time. So in case I'm not able to cover everything, you can reach out to me at hello@walk.ai. Um, so yeah, I think most of you would be from marketing background or would be running your own brands or would be from e-com background, and you would know it better than I do as far as funnels concerned because conversions is what you guys look after at e-com. But in general, how we look at a marketing funnel is that it starts from awareness, awareing your consumers, to seriously get them thinking about your product, which is consideration, and finally converting them. Retention is not part of your marketing funnel, but it's very, very important. And in fact, it's one of the most important piece. Uh, uh, if your product is not good enough, people will not come back. And very rare businesses go and become big or even remotely close to becoming big if they don't have a good product, even if their CAC is very low. Uh, so obviously these are three areas: awareness, consideration, and conversion. And a good, a healthy funnel is very important. And secondly, it's very important that you move people from awareness and you mature them into consideration and you finally move them to conversion. What is influencer marketing? So, in short, if I have to tell you anybody who's around you, who's on social media, because we're talking about digital influencers, in general in life, everybody who's around you who could influence your decision is an influencer. In the digital space, these are people who are present on social media channels. Uh, be it any, I've just mentioned four, but there can be many regional platforms. There can be WhatsApp groups. There can be any other platform that you can think of, uh, uh, where there's a sizable audience that can get influenced by someone. It could be an admin of that group. It could be in general a micro celebrity. Uh, when they talk about you or talk about your brand, there is an influence that gets passed, and there's a trust that gets passed on from that influencer to your brand. That's basically what we call as an influencer marketing. And the act of putting down that post is called sponsored post. There are obviously different levels of social influencers, ranging from what we've been seeing in our times, Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan, to now going forward, still our times, uh, uh, the Sejal Kumar and the Nikhil Mumbaikar. And now going forward, I'm going to talk about a very interesting trend, uh, which is even from Mumbai, Mumbaikar Nikhil, people are actually moving towards micro influencers. It helps in a lot of ways. Trust me, that's why it's gaining traction and attention. It helps you rank if you have a lot of trending posts. If you have a lot of small influencers talking about your post at the same time, it helps you trend in general. That gets you a lot of other organic reach, right? In other reasons that people are moving from mega to micro is basically the cost economics. It's slightly better than if you're working with mega, which is slightly better than working if you're working with a celeb. Third, lots of content pieces. So you're like multiplying the content pieces. If you're doing a Salman Khan versus if you're doing 1,000 creators which are small spread across India, hammering your hammering your audience, hammering their audience with your product, creates a very different level of trust. Generally, I'm also, because fourth point is, generally I'm also more likely to buy someone who I know from a close connection than someone like a celebrity Salman Khan talking about a product in a TV ad campaign. And trends are very visible. This is happening. Influencer marketing, as is already clear. It's basically a recommendation made by someone to help their audience consider your product. And I keep repeating, it's not majorly for awareness. You put down 10 rupees, you'll get 1,000 people looking at your products on Facebook ads as well, right? But there's a strong level of consideration that comes with influencer marketing, that comes with reviews, and not necessarily reviews via these influencers, but other reviews like Amazon, etc. It helps build in trust. So influencers are amazing. Uh, uh, Terms and conditions apply. Get introduced to a targeted audience in a silver platter. You could just target the right influencer who may have the apt audience, and then you can just hammer their audience with your content, with your brand. You get that influencer to pass some level of trust to your new brand, who I may not have even heard of in the beginning. Obviously, there is an inspiration to act, which is the CTA, so to say. So you could basically ask them to convert, ask them to generate leads via the act of. It could be an immediate action saying, "Hey, this is great. This is a lovely brand. I just went to their website to check out this new feature. You could do so too." So just put up a CTA there in a swipe up story or in a YouTube section, and so many other things. You could basically do the same thing that you're doing with Facebook ad, and do the same thing in terms of taking that CT and putting it on your influencer marketing campaign. And then finally, obviously, which is one of the most important things in Facebook and every other channel in the world, you'll have to create content yourself, and that slows you down sometimes. Like there is no literal one way right now. If I have to go and talk about how amazing we are as a company selling something, I want testimonials, I want reviews, right? Influencer marketing is one of those channels that can get you easy content, easy testimonials, and easy reviews. All you need to do is just ask them. So you get professional video content, and the content quality is far better than me and you creating testimonial ads or testimonial videos, because these guys are professional. Last thing, which is very important, in fact, is humanizing your brands, which is where selection of influencers is critical. Because next time when I hear your brand, if I've seen it in an influencer marketing campaign, I'm most likely to go back to that uh, process when I first heard you and that person who I first heard it from, and that person will actually portray your brand, right? So you want to be very selective in terms of whether you want uh, your brand to look really stylish, really cool, serious, and so on and so forth. So that's one thing. Influencer marketing in general falls greatly in the consideration stage, which is very important, without which the entire marketing funnel is not complete. In addition to that, it has advantages that it gets you awareness, it gets you also conversion, and then it gets you a content piece, right? And you can take that content piece and run Facebook ads on. That's a separate story altogether. But majorly consideration is where we think a lot. I mean, you cannot match that level of consideration that you get while a lot of other channels. It's fairly on the higher side. There are a few case studies I would like to run you through, but I'm gonna just skip through most of them because I want to spend more time answering questions that you may have, if any. But we've worked with so many brands in the past uh, year, and brands of all categories and sizes, people just starting out to people doing thousands of crores of revenues. It's basically, and in some of these brands we've realized a very interesting case happened with one of the brands that we've been working with in the healthcare side. Is that they started generating a lot of interest on their Instagram channel. What they did was every time a content piece was generated using influencers, they used to use that for remarketing. So what remarketing is, I think most of you would know, but I'll still run you guys through. uh, so I'm running a Facebook ad right now. That's a product placement ad. I take out products images of my products from Shopify store, put it up on my Facebook ad campaign, run a Facebook ad campaign. Uh, Voila goes out. A lot of people come to your website. A few convert, right? A few seriously actually go in, click on add to cart, etc. But then decide to drop off because of shipping charges, because of something else, because they're not sure. For retargeting the same people, what this brand did was use the testimonial videos, which is, you're like basically giving different content every time the consumer interacts with your brand online, and that worked flawlessly with that. I mean, that's very interesting how people actually come up with these ideas. Okay, let me just use it for remarketing only because I want actual so in addition to all the reach and all the awareness and all the trust that they actually had received, they put that content on and started doing remarketing, and their results are far better than if they were to do product placements at the game. There are lots of case studies I would have ideally like to talk about, but I just got to know I have limited time, so I'm just gonna swipe through all of these. Come to something I think you find very useful. Uh, there are different models through which you could do it. Basically, there's a pay as you go. You pay something upfront. The creator does it. There is a barter model in which if your product is decently priced, if it's a good value product, you could actually do it in exchange of products as well. And then there is a CPA model, which is an affiliate model we all may be aware of, right? Obviously, all of these three models in the last column, you'll see we've collated based on our feedback and our experience working with so many brands what has worked great from both influencer and brand side for each of these models. So your pay as you go model is fairly applicable to all brands, but the minimum budget needs to be slightly higher to even test out the campaign. Your Barton model works great if your product and services are usable by creators themselves and there's a high value of product. uh, your CPM model, affiliate model, works really well for some of your mobile apps. Where there is end benefit to consumer right in the at the install level. So you guys know what stands really well for you guys. Like if you are giving 10 rupees per install, and or you are giving one particular service free for the trial period of or a trial period of sorts, it could fly really well with influencer marketing in a CPM model. Uh, Bottom line, not just the CPM model. Everywhere you should try and have a long-term affiliate contracts. You could have one-off, but you would want to ideally keep hammering the same audience. Once you've targeted and identified the right audience, the right influencer who has the right audience for you guys, you got to keep hammering those same people time and again, so that these guys, in their mind, know that this is what the brand does, and every time I think of buying that particular product and service, your brands I'm able to recollect that brand. If you only do it once, the likelihood that the audience will recollect that is going to be far lesser. There's another reason being, we felt that long term contracts work really well compared to short term contracts, because it's a life and nothing is fair, right? So the influencer is going to go out and do other campaigns as well, and other brands as well, right? So in the noise that comes, you want to make sure your brand stands out, and that's the only way you could make sure your brand stands out, not within the competition that's outside, but within the competition that's within. That's the influencer is putting out 5 brands, let's say, or 4 brands in a month. You have competition with those 4 brands as well if you're the fifth one, right? So you want to make sure the audience hears you the loudest when the influencer talks about you. And there are other advantages as well. Uh, Obviously, we do want to talk about why not to do influencer marketing. Uh, it's time consuming, right? It's not like going to Facebook ad campaign manager, business.facebook.com, create an ad, voila, and everybody feels like they're a superhero, right? Running an ad is easy. So I'm not saying optimized one. Running an ad is easy. Running influencer marketing campaign is not. And there are so many ways brands go wrong with that. but you don't want to do it manually if you want it to be a scalable channel for you, and it can be a scalable channel for you, provided you don't do manually. That's one thing. uh, there's inefficient targeting. Let's get it straight. A lot of brands I started speaking to early days were getting requests for from the creator themselves that, hey, we'll do a campaign for you, or I'll do, just send me products and I'll post about your brand. That's the worst way to go about doing influencer marketing, right? So you're basically saying someone from within your team is going to give uh, bandwidth to individual requests that comes this way. That may mean just okay taking the address and sending the products out, but you'll also have to think second thing, which is most often the guy who's coming is not the best guy, and you may end up doing more damage to your brand than good, because the guy is going to represent your brand. He's going to be the face of your brand, right? And you don't necessarily need him to be the face of the brand. And you could obviously avoid all of these things by making sure everyone who comes to you, you vet him. You do make sure they don't have fake engagement, they don't have fake followership, they're not wasting your time. They put the content out on the right time, etc., etc. But that's a lot of bandwidth to pass. If you're not spending a lot of bandwidth doing that, then probably you're not doing it the most efficient way. Uh, uh, Third is obviously inability so far to optimize your influencer marketing spends. Like any marketing campaign, the recipe for success would be optimization, which is being completely lacking in this industry. When we entered it and we wanted to completely change that through what we were building, we really wanted influencer marketing spends to go and get optimized over a period of time, which means, hey, I've done a campaign once. I need to know the best sort of influencers that work for me, and my next campaign should automatically be with the lookalike of those best people. I should actually know by testing it out on several platforms that what platform worked for me, and rather spend more money on those platforms that are working, those channels, those days and those times. Not every e-com product that you're selling out will sell at the same time. You'd be better aware that okay, some women related product may sell on the weekdays while men related product may sell on the weekends, or vice versa. It's just a hypothetical situation. So you all need to figure out that how to actually optimize your spends, and there's a huge scope in that, and not a lot of people do that. Obviously, what we are trying to achieve using Wob.ai, and you can go to the website and check it out as well, that we are trying to actually solve all of these problems. Firstly, get automation, get optimization of your campaigns. uh, uh, and obviously we talked about all these likes for likes, comments for comments, sub for sub activities, fake engagement, fake followership that people are doing. Just remove that when we are actually doing a campaign, so that we can do with high performing, high quality, real influencers with real followers. So it's like an alternate marketing channel that we're trying to build that actually is scalable, and so that this influencer marketing facade that we see is basically, I mean, I start looking at, as a brand, I start looking at it as a very scalable, sustainable, and a big chunk of my marketing channel. Um, the entire value proposition. I'm not going to go about doing this. The idea is not to do this. So obviously, if you have more questions, there's a booth that we've set up for you guys to come and ask us questions. There are certain very exciting offers. A very recent offer that we had plugged in was that we wanted you to try out one campaign with one creator and see if it's for you. You could take that video and run it on the ads format, not a problem. You could just try and sense what the content looks like if you're like getting an Instagram creator for your brand. And we made it really, really, really cheap uh, to just let you enter and start doing it, and explore the dashboard and explore all the analytics, etc., etc., functionalities that we are offering. Uh, just one campaign, and you could go and access that using the booth. I think it's $1,500 or something on Instagram. You could also take something up for YouTube. This is only valid for today and for you guys. So just go and check that out if you want to. I'm happy to take any questions. These are my contact details. You can reach out to me over call. I'll be the one who'll take this number up, and you can reach out to me over email. I'll be the one who's answering this as well. Uh, Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to see if there are any questions for me. If not, uh, Surashri, do we have time to take some questions? Surashri? Okay, I don't think she is on. Am I am I audible? Surashri, am I audible?
Actually, we don't have much of a time. We are already off the mark. There are
Okay.
about four questions. Um, but what I'll request is people can go to their booth.
Yeah, so you can come to my booth. I'm happy to answer some questions. I do see four questions. Shruti
Yes,
Rawal,
yes.
Lakshit Taneja, three questions actually, and Digvijay Karote. Uh, Digvijay, you can just reach out to me on you do a creams, lotions, and ointments manufacturing factory. We've been working with legacy brands. Let me tell you, a lot of brands that we've been working with haven't done any sort of digital marketing, and we're talking about very large brands. So it doesn't matter if you're doing a manufacturing business or you're doing purely digital online e-com. You could do influencer marketing. Happy to connect with you later on. And then we have Shruti Rawal who's saying the influencer followers might not organic, audience could be crowded. How do you? Okay, so see, I'll just take this one, Surashri, and then I'll request everyone else to come on the booth itself. Does that make sense? Can I do that? I would, I would take it as a yes since you've not answered. Okay, Shruti. So that's exactly why what we're trying to do. You know, we want to make sure we weed out the fake followers when we are working with an influencer, and
Yep.
that's what the platform allows us to do. Um, and then second is, you know, so you basically don't want to go out and do a campaign. You're right, with an influencer who may claim to have 100,000 followers, but out of which 90,000 followers are fake, and only 10,000 are real. And of those 10,000 are also, you know, like pod groups coming from likes for like groups. So you don't want to do that. That's why you need someone who could help you weed those influencers out. Uh, how do you guarantee success? Okay, so the like any marketing campaign, what would be ideal is that you try and understand what your marketing objective is, and then create a campaign which is small test campaigns, and then understand what is working out for you. Uh, the good thing, an alternate thing you could do is how we do suggest if you're a very early stage brand, what you could do, and we enable that, you know, as Wob.ai, we do promote that. We want brands, we are very brand first, and we want brands to succeed because if brands don't, influencers are not going to make any money any which way, right? So, what we do recommend is that you could do a CPA based model. Now, a CPA based model means that you are going to pay only if the influencer gets you that success, and that you can define what that action is. Is it a sale? Is it a lead gen? Is it uh, is it per view? Is it per engagement? So you could set that up. That could partly fix your success, but it's really dependent on, you know, what sort of brand you have. Not all brands could be eligible for a CPA model. So you could again go to the booth, and we're happy to do a one-on-one consultation, try and understand your brand and see if fits the CPA model, and if you should start with that. But like any marketing campaign, do a marketing campaign, run pilot test, see if it seems like a good strategy for you, and then try and scale the one that seems the best. And you know, you may not want to spend a lot of time, because of which we are building up. So I hope I was able to answer that. If you have follow-up question, you can. Yes, we do have influencers in US and Canada. We do a lot in US. We're fairly big in US as well. Uh, uh, our campaigns are going live in US, Canada. I see Surashri is trying to just stop this. So I'll stop it right now. Guys, please reach out to us. Uh, this
It,
is the phone number. You can call me right away, or you could just email me, or you could see us at the booth. Thanks so much, Surashri. Thanks everyone for joining in. I hope this was of help.
thank you. Thank you, Ishan. It was a wonderful session. Of course, it's something which is very important for each and every brand. So there's a lot of questions and a lot of people try to reach out. Unfortunately, we are short on time. We have already exceeded. Uh, Guys, you can just reach out to Ishan. You can connect with him here as well. He has already shared his contact details, and you can reach out to Bob. booth as well. Thank you so much, Ishan. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much,
Thanks
Nish.
and see you.
Thank
Bye.